Hello, welcome. I am Mahana, and this is Change Your Funk to Fun. We welcome you today. This episode today is the truth about who you really are. Ooh, that's the topic we'll be talking about today. Wow, would you like to come on a journey with me today? Would you like to discover new aspects of you that you might not have ever considered before? Because that's the invitation for today. Ooh, can you let yourself imagine? Can you let yourself dream a bit? Can you let yourself be a bit curious? So we're going to invite you to let yourself be curious, be in the wonder, be even like childlike if you would like to do that. And in order to be able to do this, you will have to need to decide to have a bit of courage and willingness, okay? And allow yourself to have a bit of an open heart and an open mind. And if you're listening to this talk, then you already are, because that's why you're already connecting in here. Because the good thing is that you are ready to change your funk to fun. Yay! Heck yeah! And that might be the first thing we start off with before we get into the truth about who you really are. Is how are you doing? You know, and this is a great thing that you can do for yourself each day, is to let yourself, I'm gonna do this real quick and see if we get it clearer, because it seems a bit foggy here. Okay, hopefully they can clean us up a little bit here. I'm gonna do this again one more time. I'm gonna get here and then bring it back. All right, well, hopefully we'll get a little clearer, but all right, thank you for that. So with this, courage and willingness is the gateway for making change in our lives. And it's really great to ask yourself, are you ready to change your funk to fun? Are you ready to start identifying the things that are either bothering you, irritating you, frustrating you, limiting you in any way? And if it is, are you ready to fully change it and just say, you know what, I'm done with the funk. I'm done with these crazy limiting things, or distracting things, or chaotic things, or even corruptive things that might be going on in your life. Those are just the shadow sides. There's what's called gene keys. You can go look up gene keys you want. Those are actually my gene keys for the shadow sides. So I'll be able to express those very well, because I have worked with those quite a bit in my life. And the gift is that we get to have a gift. We get to actually receive the gift of any challenge, any shadow sides, any funk that's going on in our lives, and then lift up into the gifts of who we are, and to expand. And that's what we're talking about, the truth of who you really are, so that you can actually identify what gifts you have, who you really are, what you're here for, what your purpose is, and to live your highest life, to live a life where you get excited every time when you wake up in the morning. You get lit up throughout the day. You're vibrating in a level of a flow, a level of love and joy, peace, harmony, bliss, ecstasy, all of those beautiful pieces, acceptance. These are the higher energy fields that we are inviting people to access, because that actually really is you. That's a little hint there. The truth of who you really are. You actually are that vibrational energy. And yet we did agree to come here on Earth and to experience the opposites of that, the contrasting experiences. And so, yeah, we're going to be moving on here in this talk a little bit. We're going to offer a journeying for you too, which will help you greatly also. And let yourself start questioning things. This is the biggest gift we're going to offer for you. Can you start questioning things? Can you start wondering, hey, is this really true? That's actually a really good question to ask yourself. Whatever's going on, whatever's happening, because actually, if it doesn't feel right, and you have like a gut feeling and something doesn't feel right, then it probably isn't true. There probably is something off about that. And that will be a big signal for you, which is super huge. And then the gift is you actually have the answer within you. You actually have the way within you, the sacred way within you, that can help you align yourself back to your truth, back to what feels right for you, so that you can stand tall. You can feel more confident, feel your own self, which is really great, your own love. And let yourself express yourself, let yourself be, let yourself live your full true essence of who you are. And that is such a gift. So this is what we're going to be inviting you with today. So when we ask this question, the truth about who you really are, let's look at what happens to us in our lives as a human. So we come in as these brand new babies, right? And we're born into these families, and we're each born into our own unique culture, our own unique ways, our own unique religions. And what happens is that, and thank goodness, we'll thank Dr. Bruce Lipton. We'll talk about him in a little bit, but a little bit later. But with many scientists, they've done a great deal of research of this epigenetics research, is that we actually respond to our environment. And especially as newborn babies, our first 2 years, the brain waves are actually in the delta brain wave. So they're so slow that we are completely getting downloaded with every experience, every vibration, every experience, every talk, everything about that our parents or the caregivers that are caring for us are doing in the environment that we are in. So if you were born in an environment that might have been a lot of chaos or fear or uncertainty or instability, things like that, then you actually got downloaded with those. And I did. That was actually a lot of what I was born into. And many of us did, especially in the 20th century. Okay. And if you did, the gift is, hey, you're a bit of a warrior here, a spiritual warrior here. And what we are being called to, especially in this lifetime, is to rectify all of that, to actually heal those parts within us and to change our mechanisms that we got downloaded with into a higher mechanism, a higher way of being. So that you get to know the truth of who you really are. Yes. Okay. So we all would agree, yes, we are human beings here. We are physical because we see these physical bodies, and it looks like that we are separate from each other. It looks like, we have, each of us are separate from each other. So that's also what we agreed to believe here. And there's different realities of consciousness that each of us have and that we can actually grow in. So the first level of consciousness is an objective reality. So majority of people actually are born and believe in this objective reality that things are separate, that let's see, you're different than me, which you are, which is really awesome. But yet it's sometimes can be at such an extreme that we think we really literally are separate from each other and from things in our lives, and that with the objective reality, many people believe that things are happening to you. And many times people can wrap in where they think it's like this cause and effect, or this, that things, are happening to you. So there can be a bit of victim energy or a bit of fear or caution or maybe lack of trusting, issues like that, and a lot of that is to protect us. I mean, because there are purposes for it. But especially if you were born and raised in fear, or you had fearful experiences, or you've had traumas or things that have happened to you, your subconscious mind, writes all these experiences that you've had and the interpretations of what you came up with about those experiences. So, and then this is what happens our first 7 years of life, that we end up creating our identity. So that's what we believe who we are from those experiences and from whatever beliefs we received from our caregivers. And then we create this identity. So we think, okay, yes, this is who I am. And so, like for many, we do have, and we have definitions and meanings to things, and we name things, and that's what we get to do here on Earth. And so, like this, I would say, yes, I'm a woman because I'm a woman. I have female body parts, and and they did say that I was a little girl when I was born, so that's good. And then other people who are men, or boys or men, then they're men, right? And then that does bring in a part of our identity of who we are. And that is true that we do have different hormones. So men are very different than women, and they're meant to be. We are meant to complement each other very well. And yet yet sometimes we can go to the extremes with identifying who we really are, where people might be like only masculine or only feminine, that kind of stuff. And actually, each one of us actually has a masculine, feminine within us. We actually have both. Our left and right hemispheres of our brain operate. One's more masculine and one's more feminine. And interesting how that is, right? And so it's actually the centeredness, when we can actually be a bit of a balance of the two, of who you really are. Yes, you can say, yes, okay, this is my sex, I'm a woman, and yet I do have masculine qualities too, which we're supposed to. So the gift here is going to be that you can begin to blend yourself a bit more if you would like to, and help you access the biggest piece. The biggest gift is to let you awaken to realize that you're actually a spiritual being having this human experience. So that's like the biggest and the highest of the high. and we'll be getting there, that's for sure. But for right now, we'll be working with the fact that we are human. We come in as these babies, a human, and we grow up, right? We go from childhood to adolescence to adulthood, right? And then as adults, a lot of us think that we're done growing, or think that, okay, this is just how I am. And then we define ourselves, let's say, by our profession, right? Like I used to be a nurse, so I would say I was a birth nurse, right? And that identified who I thought I was, because I actually, with the activities I did and the offerings that I gave, that it expressed, a bit about who I am or what I like and all that stuff. So then what can happen for us is that we can then totally identify, well, that's just who I am. And the question we'd love to offer for you is just ask yourself, but am I really? That'd be a great question to ask yourself. Because technically, if we can offer, you're just actually playing these roles or playing these ways. And like with the professions that you choose. Or let's say you became a parent, right? So now I'm a mother, right? And then I'm the father. That you can really bring on that identity so much. But then let's say the motherly role, sometimes people will overload it, and then later in their relationships with their marriage, they end up mothering their own husband, which then that can get really kind of weird and goofy. Stop! So that's where it's really good for you to offer for yourself. Okay, how about I can just look at these are just roles I'm playing. These are aspects that I would love to experience here. So if you can do that, the gift will be is that we're going to help you with really getting connected into your heart center, discovering who you really are, and really let that blossom tremendously here on this planet as you are choosing to be a human being here, a physical being here. Yes. So with the realities, we talked about the objective, which is that things outside of you are separate from you and that things are happening to you, construct. And then you can rise up a bit into more of a subjective reality. And that is one that you actually realize that when you can realize that everything that's happening in your outside world is the result of what is actually happening in your internal world. That you're actually the co-creator of your life based on the beliefs you have at the subconscious level. And that you get to actually enhance your life, change your life. And this is the gift we'll be talking about with PSYCH-K. Helps you greatly with that, with this subjective reality. Once you can get to the level where you realize, wow, instead of everything happening to you, it's actually happening for you. And you can turn it around. You can turn something from negative to a positive. And you can heal your wounds. You can heal your body. You can heal and transform and change things more than you could ever imagine. And we're going to strongly invite you to offer for yourself as a way that you can get to become more subjective in your realities, because you have a right to discover what that is. You have a right to what your truth is. That is so sacred. It really is. That's actually a gift that each of us get to have. And we would definitely be talking about personal power, because your personal power is your free will choice. Everybody gets to have free will choice. And yet, many of us got embodied with a bunch of corrupted limiting beliefs. Yes, we did. Well, that is for sure. And I know I certainly did. Heck yeah, I definitely signed up for that one. And the gift here is for us to recognize this. And that's what the gift of this talk is about. To say the truth about who you really are those beliefs that your subconscious is running, which means your life is showing you what's happening and how you're feeling, how you're vibrating, the situations in your life. Can reflect back of them. We create judgments in our minds about who we think we are or aren't or how we think things are in the world. And what we're going to do here is to help you start questioning these things and invite you to if and when you're ready, to actually make those changes, because it's only a limiting belief. It's only a distorted belief that we received or that we even created in our own minds as we were our first 7 years of life, which many of us did. That's for sure. And the really amazing part is you don't have to stay that way. Not at all. Not at all. So in your childhood, while you were growing up, you probably heard a lot of things. I know I sure did too. And when you hear those things, or people in your family say these things to you, as a little one, we actually embody it. It actually gets downloaded right into our subconscious mind, and that's just how we're wired. Yeah, because once our brains are done with the delta wave, 2 to 7 years old, it's in theta, and theta is also about imagination, so everything is very literal. So whatever we hear is very literal. And then 7 and above, we get into more alpha, which we can actually start making choices. So 0 to 7, we really don't have any conscious free will choice about what we embody or how we believe we really are and what the truth about who we are. So a lot of times we actually created what the truth is of who we believe we are on our first 7 years of life. And the gift is you get to change these, because we were just children and we didn't have the tools or the mastery or the wisdom yet to literally actually open up. You're literally going to we invite you to do this, to open up into your heart of discovering and of who you really are. Okay. Yes. And that is a huge gift to give yourself. So, when we talked about realities, we in the first part of the show, we talked about objective reality that majority of people actually are in, and then you can rise up into more of a subjective reality where you can know that everything is really relatable to you and your beliefs within you, so that all the beliefs that you have within your subconscious mind and within your makeup is what's creating your outside reality, which means you are now in the driver's seat. You're now the captain of your life. You now can, and with the tool of PSYCH-K or Find Your Sacred Way is coming in June. We'll talk more about that. But right now we have PSYCH-K for you, is that you can literally upgrade these beliefs. So I know, like for myself growing up, I had 11 brothers and sisters, so I heard all kinds of stuff. It was a bit chaotic. Yeah, and everyone was just doing what we're doing. It's just where we were in our lives. But I would hear things like, "What's wrong with you?" I heard that probably hundreds of times. So of course I embodied within myself that I thought literally something was wrong with me. So that affected my identity of who I believed I was. I believed I was someone who had something wrong with her. Okay. Well, that can kind of get messed up, that's for sure. And then I also threw in there, because with religion, I was raised Catholic. So whatever religion you're raised in, majority of religions still have a bit of a distortion of fear, guilt, and shame energies, that you're not good enough, especially with the Christian faith of the sinner complex. You know, that you're born with original sin is what many were taught. And so then that means that literally like you're marked, or that there's something wrong with you, or that you're not good enough. So many of us are running programs that we're not good enough. And then we end up becoming overachievers, overgivers, working really hard, making things happen, getting exhausted, working really hard, thinking life is hard. Those are just programs that we received in the 20th century. And the gift is we can change these programs. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So regardless of whatever you were told growing up, you can actually identify what those are and upgrade and insert into you a new way of being. And I've done that for myself, which I'm so grateful for. And I continue to do it. I actually, with PSYCH-K, I use this every day. It's a tool that you can use just like drinking water. How about that? Huh? Take a sip of water. PSYCH-K takes a few minutes to do a process change, but it's literally as if it's almost as easy as drinking water. And then once your subconscious beliefs are transformed, you will be amazed that you can respond in new ways that you couldn't before. Because now, instead of believing that there's something wrong with me, I know, and I have in my subconscious mind, that I am made perfectly as I am. Perfectly imperfect, actually, and that is actually perfect. And then we all are, because as a human, yeah, we're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna have imperfections, we're gonna have we don't have all of the knowledge of the highest level of the creator of oneness. We only get what we have here and through our perspectives. And because of that, with our perspective, some people's very limiting perspective, they're not going to actually view very much. But when you can widen that perspective, okay, and widen and open your heart more, that's the gift of what PSYCH-K offers for you, then you'll be able to see the big picture of things and the details of things. You can let your emotions guide you, which is a super gift to be able to do. Instead of being afraid of it and blocking it or avoiding it, no, you actually use your emotions for how you feel. Let that be your main driving force. Whether you want to do something or not, whether you are inspired to create things and offer things and share things, or if you just need time for silence and time for your own time, the balance of your own silent time for yourself, and then also interacting and being with people. So it's the gift here is returning back to the balance within yourself. Yes. So the truth about who you really are is, if you can imagine, you are actually more than just a human. And you are actually a divine one here. And that's the biggest gift. I know that's what I have woken up to, and I know many others are waking up to that the I am. And even in the Bible, it talks about when God, or Yahweh they called it, or you can call divinity, source, the field, the divine intelligence, however you want to describe the creation of all, okay? And just imagine that you are a sun ray of this, that you are an aspect of this, an incarnate of the I am presence. That's at the highest level of the truth of who you really are, if you're open to get that. So that's moving with the realities, going from the objective reality to the subjective. The third level is symbolism. Symbolism reality is that everything has a symbol. Everything has a meaning and a symbol, literally just by but what it is. So it's even beyond words. And that's where you can start receiving messages for what's happening, like a situation that's going on. With Psych-K in the higher levels, you can actually access, what is that message? What is that purpose that it's here? It's actually here for me, because you're even moving beyond the subjective into the symbolism that's actually symbolizing something to greatly assist me and greatly assist you. Our bodies actually symbolize things. They represent stuff. Our organs do. You have your lungs, right? Your lungs help you breathe in all the life force energy and oxygen and release whatever you're meant to let go. And it's meant to work optimally for you to stay healthy, right? And if people have issues with their lungs, they're constricted or blocked or congested or all stuff. And many times it's connected to sadness and loss, grieving, okay? Things like that. And so different organs will represent different energies or vibrations that we have. And the gift is you can actually work with yourself with this. So if you do have a health condition, you can actually be able to, working with a Psych-K facilitator like myself, or come into a workshop where you get to learn this for yourself, you could be able to access what your body is with symbolism communicating with you. Super beautiful. Super beautiful. And like many of you may have seen, you might also have synchronicities that show up or deja vus that happen. Those are all symbolism aspects too. And a lot of us, because if we get stuck in our minds, we're trying to figure out what it means and how that is. But a lot of times, maybe just feel it, experience it. How does that have you feel? And it is so beautiful, right? When things do become synchronistic and you're in the flow and that things start just boom, landing in and working out well for you. Oh my goodness, it is so wonderful. A lot of it is you don't even have to go figure it out. Just enjoy it. Like say, heck yes, this is awesome, right? And when there's blocks, when there's limitations, when there's holding back or even tragedies, surprises, that's actually here for us too. It really is, believe it or not. And do you have the courage and the willingness to access, okay, by symbolism, what is that situation symbolizing for me? What is it offering for me that maybe I'm not aware of yet? Because it's actually at the subconscious level or unconscious level that you're just not consciously aware of yet. And what a gift when we can actually bring it up into the consciousness and recognize it. And then that's where a lot of our deep healing work happens. That just recently happened to me, where I had a surprise event that just happened to me last week or two, and it was very emotional that I went through. And then it was actually issues to help me with that I didn't even know I had about abandonment and rejection. And what a gift that is, that I can actually heal myself and that my own insecurities or fears of not being fully safe and secure. So with Psych-K, I was able to, we call it balance that within myself. I was able to change those programs within me and insert these new ones. So now I am feeling much more accepting of myself and expanding in the unconditional love. And it's such a gift and I'm grateful and thankful for that surprise situation that happened in my life. So people can be scared of surprises or even, really sad things. It was a sad thing that happened. What I'm choosing to do is using it for me to continue to grow and continue to expand and to learn. And when we can be in that way, it's because the truth of who we really are is I actually know, and I program that for myself too, to know that I am one of the I am incarnates here. We all are, and we're all equal. We're all equal divine beings. And what a gift when you can let yourself remember that. And yes, we are choosing to have this human experience, which is absolutely beautiful. Because in the third dimension, we get to, taste chocolate. Chocolate is amazing, right? We got to go for nice, beautiful walks, go for a nice swim, go be in nature, go have a delicious kiss with somebody you love, or be held so beautifully. Go see this beautiful sunrise and the sunset. There's just so many beautifulnesses in this life. Having a great dear friends or great loved ones with you, having fun, just laughing. I was with my friends last weekend, and we just could not stop laughing, and it was so fun. The joy of just enjoying each other and each other's company. You get to do this, and it's because the truth of who you really are is that you are this I am incarnate here, who actually chose to be very brave to experience some pretty harsh stuff and some pretty limiting beliefs. And the gift is you can change these. That's the gift of it all. Because the fourth reality after symbolism is oneness. So it's the oneness, the reconnection of all that is. It's the highest of the high. And typically we as humans don't actually reach that level here because we like to have our own little individual self. And that's actually a good thing to have. But we can actually enjoy it. Like plant medicines can help you with that. Where just being with that oneness is actually super beautiful. And just remembering, yes, that is who we are. And we're actually more of a collective. We're not even an individual. We're actually a we instead of an I. So it's like we are, then becomes I am. And then we have all of the 8 billion of us, the I ams that are here. So what a gift that is. And you get to actually help yourself with any of the beliefs that happened to you as a child that then separated yourself from your divinity of that I am presence. So if there's things that you're doubting a lot, or you're not that confident in yourself, or you don't have that self-worth at the highest level that you would love to. I still am working with my self-worth because I had it slaughtered as a kid, that's for sure. So, hey, whatever comes up, I'm here to help myself with, and then learning to grow in my unconditional love for myself. And you'll be able to do it too. You're going to be able to grow in your unconditional love too, because we're meant to. We all are meant to here. And then utilizing the oneness reality in this lifetime, with the blend of what's symbolizing things and how we can trust and know that we're the ones that are creating this. And then it's okay to have our own individual separateness in the objective world of like the careers you chose or what you want to do. Your gift that you got to choose what you want to do, hopefully, and hopefully you enjoy it. If you don't, then that would be a good thing to check in, because the truth of who you really are, since you're the creator of your life, it's really great if you can be doing what you love and have the courage to do that. PSYCH-K can also help you with that too, because a lot of us are being moved into that. Now, instead of just working to survive and pay the bills, how about we share our gifts? How about we discover what those are and start creating and offering those things where we can actually have fun, where work isn't even work anymore. So let's change any funk that might have clouded up who you really are. At the highest level, I know for myself, I have discovered, and I invite this for you, is that I know that I am love and light, pure love and light, as an energetic light being that chose to come here to earth at this most audacious time, for this massive ascension awakening time, and to anchor in the new earth, the new heaven on earth here. And so are you. And that's the gift. And would you like to wake up and get curious about this and see if this could really be true for you? Because that's a huge gift. Because, unfortunately, many of us were born with religions, and with religion, it does provide a nice structure and a beautiful community for people, which is really beautiful. It's just, it might be really good to start questioning some of the stuff you're being taught in those religions. Because if it is limiting yourself from your divine essence of who you are, then that might be something you might want to explore. Because even the mystics of these religions blasted through that. And even Yeshua did say, that you are the true love and the light here. And he showed that as an example. And Mary Magdalene too. And a lot of people don't talk about Mary Magdalene, but she was right there and equal with him. More of that's coming out. So we can explore more about Mary Magdalene, which is awesome. But even just beautiful sages like Rumi, St. Francis of Assisi, there's Buddha. There's just so many for the Tao, Lao-Tzu, many ways. And it is in each of our free will choice of what we want to discover, and discovering the truth about who you really are. Would you like to discover the truth about who you really are? And if you do put that out there, it actually is really amazing what is going to come to you, like a talk like this. Yes, it is. And we're excited for that for you. And even science. So science also did some really weird wonky things, because it believed only the genes were creating everything, until like Bruce Lipton and others came out with epigenetics that says, no, it's not your genes. That's not the nucleus. The nucleus is actually in the cell membranes, and the cell membranes help respond to your environment. So we're constantly responding to our environment. Many of us will react to our environment if we're in the fear energy, and if we have those limiting beliefs that it's not safe here, or I have to guard myself. The gift is you can transform that into I am safe here, and then I trust, and allow yourself to have the wisdom come in for you that will guide you in your discernment for the choices you make, and that you can live and actually begin to magnetize experiences for you that are safe and that are loving. When you have beliefs within yourself about the identity, about who you really are, if you think you're bad, or you've done a lot of things that are wrong, or something's wrong with you, you'll be very far away from the true love of who you are. And that will create the doubt or the discord or even cynicism, things like that. And that it's okay. That's just the experiences that you've had, up until that point. The gift comes in. Are you tired of it? Are you sick of it? And if you are, that's everything. Because now, especially with the gift of PSYCH-K, you can actually change these programs within you, and then allow yourself to move closer and closer and closer more into the higher realities of subjective reality, and and symbolism reality and the oneness reality, and reconnect knowing that you are the I am presence here, and then let yourself be able to vibrate with this love and with this acceptance, and with letting your life flow and letting you get excited about your life. This is the gift that we want to offer you. So I'm going to offer you a little journey in here. If you're able to get comfortable, and we invite you to close your eyes. And just imagine, this is just a gift of your imagination. You can get comfortable right here in your heart center. And just imagine going back in time in this life, right just before you were born. Ooh, and actually just before you started growing in your mom's belly. Who were you? Where were you? Ooh, have you ever asked this question before? Just imagine that you are a spirit being, a light being, that said, yes, I do want to come to Earth. And just imagine you're in a boardroom, a little adorable, comfortable boardroom, where you actually have your mentors with you, your ascended masters and archangels and beautiful, loving beings, and even friends there and family members there, and maybe groups of you came down, decide to come down together. Can you imagine that, right? Ooh, and maybe, just maybe, you chose your parents. You chose where you wanted to live and when you wanted to come. When was your birth time and your birthplace? That helps set up your astrology. Ooh, every piece. And then how about maybe in this lifetime, you might have wanted to, because you're coming to the third dimension, that you agreed to have, what challenges did you want to work through and address, and to help yourself move into your gifts and move into your full essence of remembering who you are. So you might have signed up for those challenges. Ooh, and with those challenges, you may, with your hero journey, wanted to create this mastery for yourself. So in great love, you can greatly connect with the love of who you were before you came. And then whammo, you did. At the right time and at the right moment, you started growing in your mom's belly. Yes, you did. Every one of us did that here. Isn't that amazing? And then you came out and popped out as a brand new baby. I used to be a birth nurse. I was a birth nurse for 26 years, and I absolutely loved it, because it's such amazingness when that brand new baby comes out and you were a brand new baby, opening your eyes, taking your first breath, looking in your mom and dad's eyes, being held and loved. And you might not have gotten that. You might have gotten pulled away from your parents and gotten spanked on the butt and whatever. Or maybe you were preemie and had all kinds of stuff happen to you. All of us have had all kinds of experiences. And we came into this life with great purpose. Yes, you did. You are very necessary and very important here. Absolutely. And if you can just imagine, every experience you have had throughout this life is actually here for you. And at any time that you're ready, you can access and connect in with remembering who you really are, the truth of who you are, that you are co-creating this for great purpose, to expand in your love of who you are, to expand, to let go of those old ways, and to anchor in the true essence of who you are, of that love and light, so that you can experience love, express love, feel love, in pure love, in just this openness, this connectedness, to enhance your relationships, enhance your financial situation, enhance your experiences here to a higher level. And this is the gift you get to do. So throughout your life, yes, you are moving through it, and then if you want to close your eyes again, at the end, you'll take your last breath, just like you took your first breath, okay? Whew. And once you take your last breath, what happens to you? Good question, right? Each of us have those answers for whatever we believe is going to happen after we go. Because we do have a timestamp here, a time that we come in, times we experience here, and a time that we go. So if you can just imagine, after you leave your body and you no longer have a body, for many people, they actually feel quite expansive and quite free. I have helped a lot of earthbound beings. I am a spiritual connector, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to help assist people that have actually already passed. And there are many that have stayed earthbound. They have stayed here by the earth. Some don't even know they're dead yet. That's an interesting thing. So that's great when we can let them know, yes, you actually are not in your body anymore. You actually are back to being a spirit body again. And then the gift comes in is there is a source consciousness. There is this beautiful light. And many people may just need help with the angelic realm and other supports. And we all get free will choice, right? But if you would love to in this lifetime, know that you're the I am presence, and know that you're connected back with this precious love and knowing that you are made so beautifully and you are doing the best you can. So that's going through the gateways of forgiveness, letting go, and fully allowing yourself, allowing you to love all parts of you. When you can do that, what a gift. Because then for many, once they cross over, then they do return back to source, back to light, back to just being an infinite, eternal light being for this lifetime. And if you believe that you might have had other lives and other parallel lives, there's just so much more that we can explore and go with it, because we are eternal. We are so eternal. And what a gift that is. So each one of us gets to, decide what we want to believe about that and how that feels for you. And it's really beautiful. I know for myself, I have had memories of other lifetimes that I've had here on earth. And it's actually, I'm here to help clean up that karmic circuit with those, to heal those lives too, even in this lifetime. And many of us are doing that now. And I do help support people with that too, if they would love supports with that. Because it's a whole bunch that we're doing here. We are cleaning out stuff from our own life, this life, other lives, and then also our ancestry life. So there's so much that we are, because we're done with this separation illusion of the third dimension, and we are moving into the fifth dimension for those that would love to experience unity consciousness again, back to that full love. And you get to do this. We all are invited into it. And it's just, do you have the courage and the willingness to start asking questions? It's the biggest gift you can give yourself, when you can start being curious, and you'll be amazed the information that's going to come to you, the experiences that are going to come, the people that are going to come in your life. This is all here for you. All here for you. So the truth of who you really are, another philosophy, if you're interested in hearing, I just heard this recently and it resonated with me, so I'll offer it with you, is that there are 3 types of beings here on this planet. There's those that are the earth soul. So we all are divine. We all have come from oneness and the light love that we are. Some have come directly from source, right to the third dimension, and have been earthbound, and this has been their experiences here on earth, and then with great love and care for many of other ones that are here, helping them to actually open up and remember again that they are the I am presence. It's a massive journey and gateway to do. And then there's others that are here that can be called the higher dimensional beings, soul beings, that love to stay in the higher dimensions and other planetary systems. I know for myself, that's a part of who I am. I have a lot of Palladian energy and Lyran energy, Arcturian, Andromeda's, other star systems. So that's a whole nother segue to tap into. And it's just, higher dimensions just means it's more connected with the spirit realms and more of that unity consciousness, collaboration, harmony, energy. And then there's the third beings that are the angelic beings. There's angelic souls that have come to here on earth, which is really, really tough, I would have to say. I do have a lot of angelic energy too, but I'm glad I've had a lot of experiences in other dimensions and stuff, because it's like a little bit of everything. And then of course here on earth as the earth being. So with the angelic realm, because that's a bit sensitivity when you're used to being in that oneness energy all the time and always in the heavenly realms, right? And then we come to earth, that can be challenging. So you might want to ask yourself, check in with which beings do you think you are, and you could be a combination, which is awesome. And what a gift, because with that does let you may even open up a little bit more truth of who you really are again. And what a gift that can be for you, right? Because then now you can let that part of you, your spirit part of you, your divine part of you, your other experiences that you agreed to forget that you've had, just let that stuff start coming in and really help greatly support you here in this lifetime. Because all of this is here for you. You are being supported so greatly here beyond measure. And the truth of who you really are, you get to decide what that is and what that means. And may it be very positive. May it be very loving. And may you know that you are made from greatness and you are here for greatness. And this is all here for you. And you can transform anything that's blocking that. And may we welcome you to dive into this, discover this, ask this about yourself, be curious about it. You can do some journaling with it, have some discussions with your friends about this. And even ask them, who do you think you really are, right? And let them ask you, who do you think you really are? Who are you really? Who are you? And from what I believe is we're meant to continue to expand. Because whatever we believe we are, I think we are, it may even be a bit more as we keep expanding. And what a gift this is. This actually can be really fun and be enjoyable. And it's a great gateway for healing, right? Because if you do feel stuck or limited, or no, I'm just this way, or this is how I am, and this is just how my dad was, or how my mom was, this is how I am. Is it really? Is it really? You might want to ask yourself that question, because it could just be a belief that's actually running the show. And with the gift of PSYCH-K, you get to actually transform that belief literally within minutes. And what a gift. What a gift. I just worked with a client, Abby, we'll call her Abby, that and she's a younger woman that went through a really, really, really rough childhood, especially with her father. Her father was very unstable and emotional, ended up taking his life too, which is really tough. So, and with her being the oldest one in her family, she had to be tough, and she, at the subconscious level, closed off her heart and closed off her emotions and just had to prove to the world, showing the external world that, oh, I'm confident, I got this, I'm good, I'm tough. But actually inside, she's literally about ready to fall apart. And that's very scary and very harsh. And life experiences will come into our lives to help awaken us and wake us up. And sometimes it can be pretty painful and pretty harsh. And what a gift, though, that her spirit was willing to help her, and that's what you get to do. Your higher self gets to help assist you with making these changes. And what a gift for her that she actually activated within herself that I am lovable, because she didn't think her dad loved her. That happens to a lot of us. I actually had the same thing, so I had to change that within myself. With those dynamics you've had with your parents, it greatly affects us, and it affects who we believe we are. So the gift here is you get to transform that and expand in who you really are. And one, that you're lovable, that you are made perfectly the way you are. You are unique, and you're meant to be unique, and you're exactly how you're meant to be. And you are a gift for this world. You're essential and needed and necessary. And that life is meant to be easier. Life is meant to be more of a flow and abundant, and with beautiful opportunities. And you get to live your dreams. You get to create your dreams and share your dreams and let yourself expand and live in really beautiful ways. And this is our gift that we want to offer for you. You're the one that is able to make any changes within yourself when you're ready. And when you're ready, that's everything, right? Because, hey, you're ready. You get free will choice to say, yeah, you know what? It's time to start changing some stuff. And then actually literally doing it, bringing it into your life. So what I offer is a taste of PSYCH-K. So you can go to my website, mahanasacredway.com. That's mahanasacredway.com. mahanasacredway.com. And on the website, you can and you can check the link below for a taste of PSYCH-K, and 30-minute session on Zoom. At least you get started. At least you get started to start making these changes, and you'll be like, wow, I do feel different. Things have shifted. You can clear your path instead of having all those blocks and resistance, so you can move forward in your life the way you're designed and way you want to be. And I do also offer workshops. I'm one of 30 instructors across the world that teach PSYCH-K. PSYCH-K's been around over 30 some years, and it's when you hear the calling and when you think, yeah, you know what, I think I could use a great tool that could help me. How nice is that? Because it doesn't have to be so hard, not at all. And things can start moving in a very positive way for you with healing a health condition. It's a great assistance alongside of the medical system, but these are the missing pieces. So you're going to get into those more core missing pieces that are vital for your transformation, for your health, and helping with finances, because a lot of us have lack scarcity issues. It's really great to be able to clear that out and activate into that abundance and letting yourself be more relaxed with having plenty. Especially now, the world, there's so many things, the price is getting so high. It's really having people greatly be affected by that. And how nice when you can make those changes within yourself. And then relationships, that's one of my favorite, most wonderful things. I love relationships. The most important is your relationship with yourself, is having those parts, because we've exiled parts of ourselves, or maybe hated parts of ourselves, or put away parts of ourselves. Well, what a gift when you can invite those parts back and love all parts of you. That will be a huge gift. And then you really get to discover the truth of who you really are, because you can love all parts of you and know you're here experiencing here on earth, which is such a great gift. So the workshops I'm doing actually this weekend in Louisville, Kentucky, that's a very fast one. You'd have to register today if you wanted that one on my website. And I will be teaching in Michigan in May, the first weekend in May in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and then May 16th weekend in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And then the first weekend in June 6th to 8th, I'll be in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And then we also offer for you is online courses. So you can, June, July, and August, I'll be offering online. So if you want to learn PSYCH-K just from the comforts of your home, you can begin in that way. So do what feels right for you. We're here. I love that I get to help assist other people as greatly as I get to with this beautiful gift of PSYCH-K. And I help myself massively the most every day, thank goodness. And once you learn it in the workshop, you get to do it for yourself too. So it's the biggest gift you give yourself. You'll be able to expand in the truth of knowing who you are, loving all parts of you and parts of your life in brand new ways. This has been a joy being with you, and we wish you a very, very wonderful day. Aho.